Hello and welcome everyone to the Malian guide. Today we are talking a little bit about the Malian, of course. So, there are three ways to play Malian in my eyes right now. I mean, there are more than three ways, because, there is a trade way as well. But, how can I tell what a Malian player does, right? So let's see. We have a Malian player here that builds a pitman, because usually Malian players have to build a pitman, right? Let's speed it up a little bit. Ah, I forgot to speed it up. Never mind. Hill. Snake. Snake. Never mind. So, what we know about Malian players and how they play like. So first of all, when the game starts, the Malian players send 5 villagers to the wood, right? So immediately, from the 6 villagers start, you send 5 in the wood, 1 to build a pit mine and 1 to build the houses. Now, from the beginning of the game, you need to decide what kind of build do you want to go for. Do you want to go for the Pro Scout, or do you want to go for second TC, or do you want the normal Malian build? A normal Malian build is that fully gather the wood and just build the 6 house around your pit mine. When you fully gathered 1 straggler tree, you can build 6 house around the pit mine. If you wanna go to second TC, you can build 4 house and 1 mining camp. That show you that the Malian player will go second TC, right? Well, today we are going to talk about the 2 house plus mining camp, which is gonna be enough for you to get professional scout. Yes, today we are talking about the 1 TC professional scout into Sauron trade network into professional scout. So, in this case, you don't want to fully gather the tree. What you need to do with your villagers, you do 1 chop, bring it back to the TC, another 50 chop, bring it back to the TC, and you don't finish up the straggler tree. What you're actually going to do is you are gathering the sheep, but you will leave the 50 wood in that straggler tree, because later on it will be necessary to build a lumber camp on your wood line. So this is the start of the Malian build of the Pro Scout. What you can do after that is you build the Sauron trade network. Well, you can build it on your gold, you can build it on a choke point where it's really easy gonna be, you are getting raided from, like, let's say if the map is like this, I would build here so I can secure a wood line, or you can build it here, or you can build it. It's up to you. Now I'm gonna show you games where I built the Sauron trade network and I did the Pro Scout. Alright, so this game that just I talked about is about to show you the Pro Scout. So I showed you already what Malian player will do with their houses and the mining camp, which is really, really nice, because again I showed you 3 different way of building houses or mining camp, which was the 6 house or 2 house plus mining camp, or 4 house and mining camp to build the second TC. Now here what you're gonna see is gonna be actually the 2 house, just like we talked about. Oh, is it 4 house? Oh, it's gonna be 4 house plus mining camp. Oh yeah, the reason behind that, because I was testing it. Now I remember. Testing it, this was my first game. And after this game I found out 2 houses is enough. So this was my first attempt to try the build, but actually 2 houses is enough. You don't need to build 4 houses. What I found out that my age up will be a little bit late, but it's still fine. But you don't want to do this, okay? So you want to build 2 house and the mining camp. Yeah, this was my first game trying out. Now I remember. The reason why this is so bad. So during my test, when I was looking for like why is this wrong to build a 4 house in the start, because you will not have enough wood to also build a lumber camp on your wood line, because now you have to spend gold on your professional scout, which you will see. I'm gonna queue it up. You have the professional scout. Now you need wood as well, and that's why I have to rush to the wood. And after I rushed up my stable and researched the warrior scout upgrade. So now what I'm going to do, there are 2 things you can do: rush to your opponent's side and steal the deer immediately, or steal your own deer. Well, that's not really stealing, but grabbing your own deer and bringing to the TC, right? This is a perfect game to talk about. You can even do a little bit of walls as well, just like I'm showing right now. If you are playing against, and let's say not really aggressive civ, because China not aggressive, but they like the Barbican drop, right? So if you want to protect yourself, you don't want some sneaky Barbican into your base, you can even build an archer range to deflect the early spearmen that the Chinese send for setting up their Barbican. So now what I'm going to do against a Chinese player who's going to rush me with the Barbican, First of all, I'm not gonna be scared of getting rushed by a Barbican. I can still steal the deer from my opponent. If he's blocking the middle way, like this, you can see the enemy player is blocking the middle map. You can just select your warrior scout and tell them to go here. Don't forget, if you right click on a deer and shift right click to the waypoint, it will not work because it automatically go back to your base. So what you have to do, you have to tell them directly where they have to go, right? So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. This will not work if you just right click, shift right click, which here I didn't do. So now I'm just right clicking them. You should not use the shift while doing the pro scout because it doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work, because that's just a secondary command they're going to do. The first command they're going to do is actually delivering the deer to your base. So as soon as they picked up the deer, don't give them shift command, immediately right click them, and after that you can give them shift command, of course. So now as you can see, my opponent is playing a Chinese play, which is a Barbican to the middle, and after that an astronomical clock tower to make clock tower counterweight trebuchet. Here you should not be really scared of this kind of all-ins, because what you actually have to do, it's very simple with the Malian. You just build up the Farimba garrison, you rush it up to H3, because this is the build about, rushing up to H3, and just research the Monza Musafadi warrior, and that's all you have to do. You can see the villagers at the top left corner to see where I'm positioning my villagers in economy, but there is no rule of where you have to put your villagers. What you have to decide in your head with your brain, that okay, now I need food, so I'm going to put more villagers on food. Now I need wood because I need more production building, or I need more upgrades, or I need more houses, etc. So for I don't know how many minutes, it's gonna be really important to have villagers, more villagers on wood, or more villagers on gold, or more villagers food. There is no golden rule of, yeah, like this is 10 minutes into the game, I should have 40 villagers on food or anything like that. Of course, it's really good to have many villagers on food because you want to make units, but there is like no golden rule to do all this stuff. At the same time, with your warrior scouts, you can upgrade them into veteran warrior scout, and you can annoy your opponent, doing some damage to their villagers, killing some villagers. I killed 4. So the warrior scouts are really good to annoy your opponent at the same time. Again, what I did, Mustafa the warrior, but the freeborns are actually really good as well. Like, if you are playing against the English, I would rather pick the freeborn into castle than picking Monza Mustafa the warrior. Alright, so what you're going to see, this is actually game over, right? I have a crazy amount of Monza Mustafa the warrior, which I can just push into the enemy base, I mean, their cheese play, and with that, I can easily counter that. Because don't forget, Monza Mustafa the warrior has a base 4 melee armor, which is insanely good. So they can fight spearman, they can fight knight, palace guard, marathon, whatever the enemy is gonna put against you. At the same time, I got bunker repairs. Bunker repairs is insane. This is one of the most strongest upgrade for the Malian. If you get it, you can easily repair up your TC with just a few villager. Well, it's getting trapped down. So now the game is gonna finish because the enemy player with the cheese didn't really work out, and the Monza Mustafa the warrior will clear up everything. Alright, let's jump into the next game where I'm playing against an English player. Alright, so this is another game against an English player. I think it's gonna be 2 TC, which is perfect to showcase. And I think here's now the perfect build is being shown as well, which is house, and mining camp, right? Yes. So this is house, mining camp. That's what I talked about earlier. So if you want to go with the pro sky, you actually need to do house, mining camp, just like as I showed you in the first few minutes into this guide. So now everything is the same thing, like everything is happening the same way as it should be. I'm just going out to the next stage, putting some villages here to do it. As you see, I love to age off with 4 because it's far away from my base. So what was the reason why I'm putting the Sauron trade network here? Let's say the enemy going with lombos. So if you're trying to shoot my woodline villagers, right, which is here, he will have a hard time to do that because from the top, my landmark is protecting from the top, right? So he can't shoot it from here. The landmark is protecting up here, so he can shoot it from here, and he can shoot it from here, which means my wood villagers are safe. My gold is being generated by the pit mine anyway. So I'm putting it here. Now I'm doing it what I said. I'm getting the wood around my TC, which will be enough to get my stable. So I'm getting the professional scout, leaving some villagers after I finish the landmark here, Silent Terminal, and leaving some villagers on the pit mine. And I built one extra house. You need one extra house to make sure you are not popcat, okay? So when you finish the landmark, just build one house, only one house when you finish the landmark, and focus on getting a stable, and after that, lumber camp. Okay, so we are 5 minutes into the game, we have the stable, we are finishing the warrior suit upgrade, we are getting the scouts as well, and we just finished our professional scout. Okay, amazing. So again, you have the lumber camp, you have the stable already, finished the warrior scout upgrade, you have a few villagers on the pit mine. As soon as you get wood, what you need to do is just build houses around the pit mine, or you can build your second pit mine as well. Now what I'm doing on the map is I'm bringing the deer back. Right now I'm doing the closest deer, because my opponent walled his own deer, so it's gonna be really hard to steal that one. What I tried here, which was a mistake by the way, I tried to get in, so you can't really get into his base. I should have just steal this deer camp. So what you have to, if someone walls their deer like this and you can't steal the deer away from the player, don't try. What you have to do actually is just steal the second deer camp, or get your final deer camp back to your home. So what you can see is when I'm doing this professional scouting, at the same time I'm building up my second pit mine as well with the houses. One mining camp is enough for it, you don't need more than one mining camp. And at the final result is you are getting 102 gold per minute when you have everything set up around the pit mine. So as you can see, even if he tries to raid me, I have the sword and trade network to protect my gold villagers. So that's what I said about the mistake. I should have steal this second deer camp as soon as possible. So now we are 11 minutes into the game. The English player casually going with the white tower as usual. But the good thing is we are not going so far. So even if he goes crossbow, that's really good for us, because the crossbow will not do bonus damage against the units. So now we have the freeborn warrior that has 5 ranged armor, has 9 plus 4 damage against range, which is really nice, with 1.38 attack speed. So same as the Musafadi warrior, which is really good attack speed, and it has 165 HP, which is, again, that's crazy good. I think in Imperial that's 195, which is even better. So freeborn warriors, this unit doesn't have a counter unless one unit, which is the spring gold. So if you want to counter the freeborn warrior, you actually have to make spring golds to counter them. That's the only counter they have. The archer, the crossbow doesn't counter them. The only counter to the freeborn is actually the spring gold. There is no other unit to counter the freeborn warrior in the game right now. So what I'm doing is actually securing the relics. Well, sorry, I forgot to show the villagers. Here's the villager distribution right now. So I'm collecting the relics, also making cattle ranches, protecting those relics all over the map, as you can see. And I slowly want to do a push into the English base. Not right now, you don't want to push in yet, but I'm doing some little bit of push, little bit of aggression against the enemy, and also trying to get 3 relic to have a really good economy over my opponent, right? So when I collected the relic, when I feel like I have a good amount of units right now, I'm closing in into 150 population. You can see there's a huge difference between my villagers compared to his villagers, but let's see the economy. Food economy difference, not bad. Wood, not bad. Gold, not bad. So the difference between our economy is not that insanely huge, and I'm just spamming units non-stop. At the same time, I'm making cows, and I'm putting those cows into the cattle ranches. Okay, this is really important. Even though you pro-scouted a hell lot of deer to your base, you need to secure your economy. You don't want your food per minute to go down much. So what you can do to secure this economy, you're gonna have a lot of gold anyway, because you're securing the relics, you're getting sacred sites as well all over the map, which is perfectly fine for you. Now that when you feel like, okay, I have an insane amount of infantry, right? We have a crazy amount of Musafadi warrior and crazy amount of freeborn warrior, so we can easily push into his base. Now, you can see he has 22 crossbows, 16 spearmen, 11 man-at-arm, and 12 longbowmen, which is a correct way to play against Malian if they are going with the sofa. Well, because I didn't go with the sofa, those 22 crossbow is like, fine, he has it, but then what, right? He has the crossbow, but none of my units will receive extra damage, right? I even look how tanky is the freeborn warrior. Look at that. While the Musafati warriors are pushing in and destroying everything that's armored unit, right? Like marathons. So he's not doing literally anything. Look at that freeborn warrior just surviving. It's crazy. Freeborn warriors are really strong against range units. When someone telling you like why would you get freeborn warrior when you have javelin thrower? Well, first of all, freeborn warrior has more ranged armor, more HP, more movement speed, less damage of course, and it's not ranged unit, but more HP. It doesn't have a counter. You don't need to tell me more to make a unit like this, because it's a really nice unit to have. So I'm going into my opponent's economy right now, butchering his villagers, while at the same time I'm considering at my base to build a second TC. Because don't forget, you don't need to get her stone to build a second TC, you need to get her only wood and gold, which I did, right? So now I'm building a second TC, I entered his base, I have time, I'm butchering the villagers, killed 28 villager, still ruining his economy, while my economy is still really good. I have my cows, I have my cattle ranches, scouting his base where to do any kind of damage. So it's really nice for me. I have cheese sacrifice as well, so I can really soon consider to win with the sacrifice victory, right? Well, his food economy just went down under 1000 food per minute. Now I'm pulling back my army after I did a lot of damage, regrouping my army, making more and more units. I still have a lot of freeborn warrior, a lot of Musafadi warrior, and a lot of veteran warrior scouts, which is nice. But also I have 2 TC right now because I had a lot of gold in the bank, I had a lot of wood in the bank, so I was like, okay, I did a lot of damage to my opponent. Now it's just time to build a second TC, because why would you not do that, right? At the same time, building farms, really important. Get those farms, get those cattle ranches with a 90 food per minute, which again, that's really nice. So you can, so just let's pause it for a sec. I don't even need to pause it, but let's check the economy difference. 1500 food per minute on the right, 1000 food per minute on the left, 300 wood, 700 wood, 1000 gold, 1000 gold. So there's a huge economy difference between me and my opponent, right? Because I was non-stop attacking the economy inside his base. So his food per minute a little bit slowed down. And you can see he doesn't really have that much of a food in the bank. But I still have a lot of food and I have a really good amount of units, right? And again, attacking his gold, killing some villagers, and idling out his economy again. So now I build up my farms, I will build more farms, of course, and gathering all the natural resources on the map, which I forgot to tell you. If you're running out the deer, you don't need to immediately eat your cows. You can just get all the natural resources around your base, since you have the map control. You don't need to be scared of your opponent. Like, do you see I'm not really building those walls? Because I never let him to raid me. If you don't let to get raided, then you have no problem. Now he is walling, he is stone walling his side. He's not considering that there is a second side victory is gonna happen really soon, right? So look at that. I'm building a fort of the hunters on the second side, and I'm keep making Musafadi and freeborn warrior, gathering some stone so I can make sure I have more keeps on the second side, and I have a good amount of farm. Let's just see the resource per minute difference on the two both sides. Now he has more food since he's playing also with the English, so English is really good on gathering food on the farms, right? And also he has enclosures as well, which gives him better food economy than I will have, sadly. But the villager difference is not really huge thanks to the second TC I built as well. And myself, I will make more villagers on food very soon to make sure I can make out more units. So now what do I have? I have freeborn warrior, I have a lot of Musafadi warrior, so I'm just gonna spam it and I will not let him to capture the sacrifice. Freeborn warriors are really good tanking range units, and I attacking into his army, still not letting him to take back my second side. So as you see, I'm just attacking, getting my university upgrades as well. Perfectly fine. That's literally how you need to play it. I build stone walls, build another keep on the other second side, so if he tries to do some sneaky stuff, he can, because I have keep on the other second side as well. And here gonna be another keep as well. Oh, look at that. Pick of the devil. Building more pit mines as well, building more farms, securing more food per minute for myself, and making sure I'm making Freeborn Warriors and the Musafali Warrior together. Freeborn Warrior is insanely good to tank out the range damage. So again, 190 HP with 11 ranged armor. So a unit that doesn't have counter, which means the crossbow doesn't counter it, the archers doesn't counter it. I think the hand cannoneers counters them because the hand cannoneer has bonus damage against infantry units. But still, even though the hand cannoneer has bonus damage against infantry units, which he's an infantry unit, it has 11 ranged armor. Okay, so it has 11 ranged armor. So it doesn't matter if the hand cannon has a little bit of good damage against them, 11 ranged armor. And that's all you need to know about the unit. And the reason why it has insanely good damage, because the first strike ability, you can see the Musafali Warrior as well, it's 48 plus 22 damage. So yeah, that's kind of crazy good. So Farimba Warrior on the first strike and Musafali Warrior. Okay, just can we watch this? So first hit on the Manathon. Look at the HP on the Manathon. Like, those Venators have literally evaporated. Look! Those Venators dying so fast. Because the first strike ability from the Malian Musafari Warrior. Look! 48 plus 22 damage on the first strike. Which means I can just easily kill all the Menatons he had on the front line in a second, right? Because how much damage I had. And now I'm just pushing it with Freeborn Warriors. You don't need to make like a crazy amount of Freeborn Warriors, but it's really good to have. And pushing in with Manza Musafadi Warriors as well. That has 150 HP and 12 melee armor. And in the end, I will win with the sacrosanct victory. Thanks to the Freeborn Warriors and the Musafadi Warriors. So that's a way to have to play the Malian Pro Scout into Freeborn or Manza Musafadi Warrior. I hope you learned something from this game. Don't forget, you can make this build for yourself as well. You can change one little thing or you can change two little things. This guide is just to show you how to start. Now, please use this guide for your own and try to play Malian as best as you can. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys on the next video.